secure for your car.
Hey everybody, my name is Marcus Manise. I am the founder and executive director of Stronger Than My Father Youth and Family Services. Our organization is designed to help young men growing up in homes with our father have a better chance at a better life and a better opportunity. Our organization is preventative, so our goal is to prevent kids from going to jail, juvenile, but live out the purpose that God truly has designed for them. For all information on our organization, if you're looking for a mentorship program and your child is between grades 2nd through 9th, we encourage you to go to our website, strongerthanmyfather.org, for more information. Sign up to be a part of Stronger Sons Mentorship Program. And then we're hoping that this program continue to help your son live out the true dreams that God truly has designed for them.
This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
All right, you're listening to Conversation with Mike Sparks. I'm your host, Mike Sparks. Got some special guests tonight coming up, and I'm going to chop these names up. Let me try it. May. I got May. Yep. May Patel.
That's right.
And I've got Roshan. And I'm going to try to get the Bakhta,
yes, sir. You got it correct.
And
first time.
Yeah, both born and raised in France. And no, I'm teasing you, man. But before we go into these guys, I want to turn the mic over to Roger Thomas, and Roger's got some updates of things going on in the Smyrna area. Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Chris over at Elders Ace Hardware. I always give him a shout out every week.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, anyway, the second annual Cruise In at the Northern Tool on 1705 Old Fort Parkway, Murfreesboro, is hosted by the Mid-10 and Murfreesboro Hot Rodders. That's going to be this Saturday, June the 7th at 12 p.m. That's a makeup. They got rained out before. And also the Great Tennessee Air Show, which is June the 7th date in Smyrna. I know it's the same weekend as a car show, but you can catch both. Catch a car show on Saturday and catch the air show on Sunday. But really great events, and money these things like the go to awesome projects. But anyway, Mike, that's about it. And shout out to my Aunt Dot. She called me, said you better tell me hi. So shout out to my Aunt Dot.
Yeah. Now, hello Aunt Dot. Hope she's doing good. How old is she now?
96.
96 years young. Now she's the longest survivor of Old Jefferson community.
Right. Still lives on her own. And she wanted me to say something because at the ball game, she's a Tennessee fan. It was tied, and she was all upset before I left. Yeah, so I said,
"She big sport. Was she an athlete back in the day?"
No, but actually, she's big in sports. I mean, big. I mean, she's all the time. Yeah. 96, always watching sports. Always.
Yeah. You would think she's that many years young, but hello Aunt Dot, hope you're doing good.
Oh, we did have a little sport here a couple weeks ago. Me and Mr. Jones walking upstairs.
Oh yeah. I counted the steps are 18. I counted them just now. Them steps they're rough, ain't they?
Oh yeah.
We had a 95-year-old guy on his cane, and Roger was like, "Oh," and this guy just passed it like with his cane, come up. And he grew up in Old Jefferson. Old Jefferson was an old community outside of Smyrna. It was the first county seat for how long, Roger?
For like 7 years, from 1804 to 1811. Yeah. And when Percy Priest Dam come in the 60s, that kind of did away with that little town. The town is still there. It was supposedly going to be underwater. They miscalculated, but my mom was born there and all that. But we take hikes out there about once a year.
There you go.
Around February. So, we had 80 people last year go out there.
Yeah, man, it's
beautiful out there.
It really is. It's just really. A lot of folks don't even realize. I always heard that it was underwater. Growing up, we were told. Is that what you were told?
That's what it was going to be underwater when it happened, but it never did. They burned it down because then it was toward the end of the far end of the where the lake was going to be, and they got rushed. Had a deadline. Stumps everywhere, but Mike knows it real well. He went around it 2 or 3 times.
Got lost.
Yeah.
It's in all fairness, it's easy to get lost out there. I think Rick Hall even agree if Rick's listening. Well, Rick knows the area probably better than I do. No, I was on a 4-wheeler and we were riding around.
He saw the same tree 3 times.
And like, that looks familiar. My wife and her grandmother done that. The little 440 where you go like Nashville and you take 440. Somehow they went around that, and they're supposed to be going to West Tennessee, Parsons, where her grandmother's from, and they come back around, and somebody's like, "Boy, it looks familiar." Like, we just passed it. They went back in a whole circle. So when I'm coming home, she's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "Well, I'm in that area that you and your grandmother went around a couple times, But we had a great event yesterday at the walkathon.
Yep.
With it, you would say BAPS charities?
Correct.
Okay, you don't say BAPS, it's BAPS.
BAPS charities.
So that's something y'all do every year.
Walkathon is held nationally every year in the United States, and I think this year was the first time that 95% of all the local centers had it on that same
really?
Saturday, which was yesterday. Yeah. So.
And why Charlie Daniels Park?
That's where we started the first walkathon.
Yeah.
So it became like an annual event.
Yeah.
And just a friendly park, nice environment, close
Oh,
to
it
our
really,
temple.
really was.
And we carried that walkathon with a picnic at the end after walkathon. After we finish walking, we start our picnic. So I think that's makes most sense with kids and everybody around that we do it at that park. So it's just easiness, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, he commented yesterday how it's such a great event, and he said, man, it was just so friendly. He felt welcome, and so he was going on. I couldn't go. I was wanting to go.
I don't feel welcome.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But he did. He went on about that. He said, man, that was really a great event.
It really was. I was wanting to get y'all to come to Smyrna and do it, but I think that's kind of y'all consider it more centrally located.
Oh, we could move it to Smyrna. It just depends. We got to logistically do it before the event.
We had the Jeep license plate that we had created. Wendy Lloyd is the one who really originated this, and she hosted 2 big Jeep events right there near my former car business and the hair salon we used to own on Jefferson Pike over at Sharp Springs Park. Beautiful park over there. I mean, it be honest with you, it'd be better than the Charlie Daniels Park.
Really?
I mean, I'm serious.
We need to look into that.
You talk about the walk. Oh, it's got a huge track around there. How far you reckon that is?
About 2.5. You talking about at Sharp Springs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, about 2.5 miles. I used to walk it all the time. Got restrooms around, as you go around the walk and all that, and like I said, plenty of pavilions.
Yeah.
I've been at Charlie Daniels before, like youth football, coaching youth football, but that was, I don't know if they've done more to it, but this is a.
It's more.
It's a. I mean, you could have 1,000 people, no problem.
Well, the Alls event yesterday, it was tight. I mean, because there was other things going on, because the boys were carrying the pole and the banner. They didn't stop. And I was wondering what they're going to do when they get up to this tree, because the banner was, 12 foot long, And then I think somebody was like, hey, slow it down. They're going too fast. And I was like, yeah, there's old people. And I looked around. I was like, I'm the oldest person here. I was literally the oldest person
so
there.
If I'd have went, I would have been the oldest person there, right?
Well, you'd have been left behind.
Yeah.
No, you'd have been okay, man. You'd have been okay. But it was really a good event. You know what impressed me? Because to be honest, I was a little nervous, because all of a sudden I'm fixing to have a mic in my hand. I'm fixing to speak in front of roughly 200 people, and I don't know much about this charity stuff, so I started researching. Shout out to Bob Patel for inviting me. Luckily, Representative Susan Lynn was there, so I asked her to lead off. And but I'll tell you what was cool. I appreciate seeing the young kids when we did the I guess national anthem.
Anthems, yes.
Y'all did national anthem, the little kids, and everybody just put their hands over their heart and said it. And then I guess y'all have got an Indian national anthem,
right?
Yes,
which was followed right after the U.S.
And I thought, man, this is really nice. I didn't see nobody holding a KKK sign. I didn't see nobody down with America. I hate it here. I didn't see none of that. And it was just people just love the country, and
absolutely
everybody's nice. And y'all gave me some of those
fritters.
Man, they were hot.
Yeah. They were spicy, yeah.
Those are medium.
Spicy.
Those are
Really?
medium.
Those
man.
are medium, yeah.
I should have carried them over and
Yeah,
gave some to you,
I like
Roger.
hot stuff.
Man,
Yeah.
I carried them to Marty.
That's what he said, that he's taking
Man.
for a friend, but I don't think
Well,
it made it.
some
I
of
don't
them-
think it
I
made
did-
it.
I
He
did
ate 'em on the
give-
way to
I did
friends,
give
probably.
one to Marty, and he was sitting there, and he goes, "Oh my gosh!" And he goes, "I gotta have some milk." I thought he was gonna start crying. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man, they ain't that hot, brother." And he took off in his wheelchair, and I said, "I'll get it." No, I got it. It was kind of funny, you know. And Sepna, who helps him come by. I think did y'all have a dinner the other night? Like a dinner later, some kind of another event after.
Yeah, it was a picnic.
It was
She-
a picnic.
Oh, all right. She was going to that.
Right.
She was going to that, and they're sweet folks. You
It was
know.
the same place.
It was all the same
It was
place.
the same place,
Well,
yeah.
well, I mean, who was the main head honcho over this operation that we can get to come to Smyrna?
His name was Dr. Nitin Patel that
Okay.
organized this year's walkathon.
Where does he live?
He lives in Hermitage, Mount Juliet.
Oh,
area.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, I'm telling you, Sharp Springs Park would,
We're gonna have to shoot
would
for
blow that other one away.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because it was tight, and what you could do is just plan on doubling, tripling. Because we had 230 Jeeps at that event last year. Mayor Reed came, and several folks come out there. I mean, we had Jeeps from all across Tennessee that came in. You know, Jeep community is a big
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
community. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, tell us about. Go ahead and introduce yourself, because I know I mean your name. Say your name officially. How you say it?
So my actual name is Mayank Patel, but Mayank.
Okay.
Yeah, but since it kind of became identity when when you start going to middle school, high school, and these kids want to actually get the correct name, and everybody just started calling me May Patel.
May.
So it kind of became like a identity, and it's just like your cell phone number. You know, you had it from years ago. You still carry the same number just because it makes sense. So,
You know what was funny on the stage? They introduced me as Mark Sparks. I was like, okay. I just roll with it. Everybody, I used to hear that growing up. You know. Now you started. Well, I know you're in different ventures, but your main venture that you told me the other day was.
So I'm in retail businesses across North America, or Northeast and Mid-South here in Tennessee area. But originally I was I went to schooling. I did my high school, middle school, high school, college, everything in Boston area.
Okay.
And then about 8 years ago I moved to Tennessee. So I kind of unloaded all my businesses up north, and then I started from scratch here.
What made you want to kind of expand here?
My
Tennessee?
in-laws were always here in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And we had that second child, man. We both husband and wife working, we just couldn't manage it. So I said, let's just move to Tennessee where we have some family support raising the kids, So that's what did it. And came here about 8 years ago. In 3 years after I moved, I bought my first store, Eagleville Grocery. That's in Eagleville, Tennessee, and that's what started it. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and up north, you got your butcher shops like Dunkin' Donuts and gas stations here. They got one at every corner.
Or advanced finance, or
yeah.
checking the cash. Yeah.
So that struck nerve, and there was lack of that small craft butcher shop in the area. So that's where I went to open one in Murfreesboro, first one, and about 4 years ago we opened one up, and it's doing amazing.
But you don't just sell meat there. You'll sell what other products you have?
Well, we sell all meat related items. So
Okay.
whatever enhances the meat. So sauces, your rubs, your cheeses. We also do exotic Thursdays where you will find just game exotic meats like kangaroo, ostrich,
Really?
camel, alligator, elk,
Where do you
yak.
get camel at?
From Australia. It's
Really?
farm raised, all grass fed Australian
Wow.
camel.
What's
yeah.
kind of the most popular?
Kangaroo.
For real?
Absolutely. Yep.
Really?
Yep. Kangaroo.
Wow.
It is the most hopping meat.
Is it really? I had never heard of that.
Mike, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to try it there.
I
buddy.
need to get out.
We'll
some.
take that barbecue class with.
He gonna make a
Mark.
kangaroo
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to be at the barbecue class. I forgot about it. No, yeah, it was 7:30. Mark Lewis. Sorry, Mark. We listen. One of our sponsors. Roshan, tell us your story.
I was born and raised in Shelbyville.
Oh, you got that country
Yeah,
accent.
there
I
you
can
go.
tell.
So
Country Indian accent.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Isn't it like Chevville?
Shelbyville.
Shovel.
There you go.
Shovel.
Yeah, my parents migrated from India and bought like a small hotel, motel, 18-room motel in Shelbyville.
In that area, really.
Suburban motel, and I grew up there.
What made them identify Shelbyville? I was just curious.
They were, just cruising around and they saw something for sale. And back then, that was the mentality of Indians moving into North America. They want to jump on hotels or stores.
Yeah. Well, that I was trying to pull up that comedian, and man, is it Nimesh
Yeah, Nimesh Patel.
Patel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, but man, a lot of it, he's just got a little bit of profanity in there. And
Oh,
I was asking Connor, I
lot.
said, "You think we can hit the button?" And he's like, "Man, we can't chance it." Brian probably get upset with us, but I thought we could know it's coming to hit the little button, which I've never had to hit before. But is it, was it Nimesh that talked about? I watched something the other day. I think he said something like there was like 3,000 or 4,000 Indian Americans that fought in World War I, and they got deported after the war, or something had happened. It was interesting. I wanted to try to find that case, but it was funny how he took and put a narrative to it about it was hardship. You think, man, you fought for America. I think you'd have citizenship. And he says they got deported, and he says, but they had a plan. He said they went back and studied and knew coming back to America.
Came right back, right?
Convenience stores, hotels, place to eat, place to get something to drink. And it was funny how he took that serious issue that was heartfelt, because everybody can relate to that. My dad was World War II. His uncle was killed at Normandy. My friend was killed in Iraq. People relate. All of a sudden, you get deported and you fought for your country, and then you return. I thought it was cool. Have y'all seen that clip? Is it Nimesh or is it the other guy you was talking about?
No, I
Probably
think it's Nimesh. He would talk about historic facts and
Make it funny.
yeah, make it funnier like that. But the other comedian won't. But
What's that one? How do you say it? Cat Bell?
That was Cal Penn.
Cal
Cal
Penn.
Penn?
Cal Penn.
Cal Penn.
Yeah.
Okay, with
Cal
a
Penn.
K.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what
Yeah.
about the guy that comes to Zanies? I forgot his name.
Russell Peters.
Russell Peters.
Oh, he's
Russell
Indian?
Peters. Yeah, he's.
Oh, okay.
He's South Indian. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
hilarious too. You got to listen to him, man.
You have that accent? You're from India? So,
Yeah.
Well, and when I was putting this show together, I spent hours on this show getting it prepped. Days, Roger. And I was thinking, okay, which angle do I come at? Do I come at the history of India? Do I come at immigration? Do I come at it for the work ethic? Because, one thing about folks in India descent, man, they're working hard. I've never seen anybody out here out front saying I work for food out front. I've never seen anybody at McDonald's hanging out that's got Indian.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Heritage.
If this country has everything to offer,
Yes.
so if you come with the right mind, right attitude, and work hard, truly, anybody can make it. So if somebody says that, hey, I failed, or I didn't make it, I can't make it, I can't get a job, that's just I brush it off pretty fast over there, because I've been through. I came here without my parents from India, and I lived with my uncle. And after college, I was actually just trash bag. That was my belongings, clothes and CDs and cassettes, and it was this trash bag from friend's place or another couch.
Really?
And, oh yeah. So I know what struggle you have to do to make it, but eventually you do.
You didn't have no silver spoon?
No.
Like
Well, back in India we do, but my father's mentality is when the Greeks are born back in the days, they used to roll the babies off the mountains, and if it survived, it became a gladiator. So
Are you serious?
yeah, that's his mentality.
Wow.
So he was like, yeah, you just go out in the world and try to figure it out. And I think he did me a best favor in my life, that because I'm not I didn't come from somebody guiding me. I figured it out. So
yeah. Well, have you ever studied Alfred Adler? He was a contemporary of Freud, Sigmund Freud. He's a psychologist.
I've heard of all those names, but no.
Alfred Adler, my understanding is that he said a lot of your trauma from your past really can be beneficial. And I think he studied Army medics on the field during World War II, I believe it was, and had seen how a lot of folks that suffered trauma used it for good. You know, where Freud felt like you always had to dwell back on your past.
Yep.
And there's a nice article. In fact, it was some professors up here about a month ago, and I brought it up to them, and she said, and she was with Motlow, and she said, yeah, she said, we followed the wrong person. We followed Freud instead of Adler. So your model, not that I don't know much about psychology, but you would be more the Alfred, Adler model, not the Freud model, where it's like, oh, woe is me, the system's unfair, and it's because I was raised wrong, or we were raised in a
Absolutely. I mean, I think
something.
it's in your hand at the end of the day how you want to, see the glass a half full or half empty. I want to
Yes.
go back to that, but
Yeah.
that basically sums it all.
Yeah.
So-
Roshan, what's your thoughts?
Oh, that's crazy.
You didn't
Been
know,
my
I
friend
think.
8 years, and I didn't know
he
he went
didn't
through
know
this much
about,
trouble.
really?
about that.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Well, I was telling
Yeah.
Roger, it was either Roger or Marty. I said, I don't know much about India, but I'm fixing to learn.
Yes, sir.
And I was telling y'all about some of my life, weird, strange life experiences, which I think are divinely inspired. I mean, hardships that end up being good for me in a sense. But I wanted to share with you because y'all know one of my former professors, Dr. Raj.
Yes.
MTSU.
Yep.
He's TikTok
We
celebrity.
talked about him yesterday, too. Yeah.
Great guy. And when I first met him, I always like to meet professors before I have their class, because I'm not the best student, and I wanted to kind of get in some good graces. And I could kind of sense that he wasn't a Christian. I just kind of feel it. So I quoted Gandhi, to him, and I like a quote that Gandhi shared. It's really interesting. So I think it's something that pastors and Christians and deacons, we all who are, of Christian faith should really pay attention to. And Gandhi said, I like your Christ. It's those Christians I have a hard time with. He said, because they're so much unlike your Christ. So it's like, as Christians, we got to be like Jesus. And it's hard to be like Jesus.
That's powerful.
It is powerful.
Yeah.
And that came from a Hindu. You would say a Hindu guru, right?
Yeah. Well, he's not a guru,
Leader.
but freedom fighter.
Yeah.
Freedom, you see him
Yeah.
as activist.
Yeah. Activist.
Yeah.
Correct.
And he never fired a shot.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently not. No.
Yeah.
So-
But then how does most folks from India hold him up to extremely high regard, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which temple do y'all go attend? Is Nashville? You were telling
It's
me?
Nashville BAPS
Okay.
Yeah.
BAPS.
temple.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's that new one being built. You were telling me.
Oh, yeah.
Right near you.
Yeah, Moneynagar Swaminarayan Temple out
Yeah.
on Shelbyville Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different spin-off of what we believe in, but the main God is the same, but then the predecessors, like the gurus, they have their own set. We have our own set. So
Yeah,
that's
because you were
what
describing it
yeah.
kind of like the different sects Baptists or something.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
didn't know how to compare apples to apples.
Yeah.
So I was
Okay.
like, yeah.
Well, I grew up Catholic. I'm in the Baptist church.
Yeah.
Church now. I sit on the back row. That's what we're known for, in the very back row.
That's where the
But-
holy people sit.
What? Holy people? No, it's people who want to get out early.
Okay.
Anyways, speaking of gurus, we've got our historian Marty Luffman on the phone. Marty, how you doing?
Hey, this is really a great show tonight. I'm really enjoying the heck out of this.
Yeah, we were
I
well.
tell you,
You probably kind of helped inspire that with Rocky and Sepna.
I did.
Helping you.
I pushed. I kind of promoted them, but I'm going to tell you right now. I've learned so much about India. It's phenomenal, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, just in listening to Mr. Patel and y'all talking and everything.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Now, have you told them about you and Felicia eating over here that day and
Well, you
and
think
Rocky and coming to having ice cream? Have you told them about that yet?
you think I ought to tell that story?
You ought to tell that story.
Man, it's
That is
very
so
politically
funny.
incorrect. I hope Bart. If I tell it, I hope Bart doesn't get mad at me, and I hope these guys don't get mad at me. Marty had some friends over, invited me over, and I won't. I guess I won't say the guy's name, right? Don't say his name. Let's don't say his name. And and I'm sitting there with Sepna and talking to her and her 12-year-old daughter. I called her bougie. You know, she's all dressed all cool. So you know what bougie means? She's, yeah, it means classy. You know, and we're over just cutting up, and I heard a friend of mine ask. Marty said something about these from India, meaning Rocky and Sepna, and my friend says, he said, yeah, I'm sorry, it's so sad what America took all your land. And I was like, what? And I said, did I just hear this?
Wrong Indian.
And what'd you say, Marty? What'd you say?
I cracked up.
Man, and I was like, I told my wife that story. My wife was laughing, and she's like, "Bless his heart, he don't get out of the country. He's probably never been out of the country, but he's probably listening right now too. You know, so I'm not gonna say his name, but
well, he's a beautiful guy though.
He's a good dude.
He's
yeah,
really a great friend.
He really is. I just thought. And you said, no, different Indians, man. I just thought, oh, my gosh. And they were just laughing, you know. But we just had to find the humor. Nobody got all mad, and nobody filed some complaint. You know, it was just, we just laughed and moved on, you know.
Yeah.
So, hey, what'd you think about that hush puppy I gave you? That hush puppy I gave you. What's it called?
Fritter.
I don't know, but I spit it out. It was awful.
You said it was hot.
I can't eat that. There's no way.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was that hot.
Should have tried it with ketchup.
Yeah, you should put some ketchup on it, man. Or some, what do you call that sauce?
The yellow sauce that you
What is
had.
that, curry sauce?
Yeah, it was like a little curry with peppers in it.
Do y'all have curry on everything?
Sort
Usually.
Usually. Because y'all had corn on the cob there, and y'all had something on it. What was that?
It was chili pepper and salt and lime.
Man, y'all like spicy stuff.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you? Jesus.
You got to take a Pepsi AC before you come to our party.
Yeah.
Tums.
Tums. Yeah. Marty, you got any questions for these gentlemen?
Yeah, I was going to ask Mr. Patel. Do you go back over to India very often?
Yes, sir. My parents are still back home, and my older brother is still home. So I go at least once or twice a year to make that visit. And my grandfather just passed away a couple of years ago, and he was 96 when he passed away. But I made it a point to go visit him and my parents every year at least once or twice.
Oh, that's nice. I know Sabna, she went over Christmas for about a month, and I love the pictures. I'm just totally fascinated with India now. I've learned so much, and it's fascinating.
Well, she gave me what she called it? What she gave me and my wife of the day for our 36th wedding anniversary. What was it? She brought it back from India. It's like it's a shawl. Is it called a shawl?
Shawl.
Yeah. And it was a mini blanket.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a shawl. It's I think it's probably handcrafted if it came from India.
I put it on my grandbaby's bed, like a little for her, you know. Yeah. But that was really sweet.
Cashmere,
you know,
good stuff.
Of them doing that,
good
you
deal.
know.
Getting gifted a shawl is like somebody real close to you.
Oh, is it?
That's the only way you get
well, God bless you, Septon and Rocky, if y'all are listening. Well, it was Septon that gave it to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sweet. Her husband came out, and Rocky needs a man. Can y'all hook her up?
Oh, Lord, you're going to get her folks.
You tell her, girl, you need a man. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. And she gave you a hard time. She put you in your place, I should say, Marty.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Well, we don't use any bad words because we we didn't get in trouble, you know, but we could have got in trouble last week. Anyways, talking about Nissan coming into Smyrna back in the day. And anyways, he was just being honest about it. But some people don't like change, you know what I mean? Especially back then when Nissan was coming in, back in the early 80s, you know. But what did, describe what she did, but don't use any bad words if you can. You must have gave her a hard time, and she.
I did. She was mad at me.
Yeah.
About something. Mike, there's no way I can do it without.
Well, she just put it this way. She knows sign language. Would you say that?
Yes, I can say that.
She knows sign language.
She's very fluent in sign language.
And she's just telling you who's number one. Let's just put it that way. You're like, I'm number one. I'm number one, because she kept emphasizing it to you.
They both got an interesting history. Sebna was a nurse in India, and then when she came to America with her family, they all got whatever you call it. You know, they got mechanized. All of them did. And then Horace, her husband, he has a food shop in the hospital, Summit Hospital over there, and he's done real well with that. But they had to literally start all over here. It was amazing to watch the transition from what they had and what they were, and coming over here and starting all over. Rocky got. She was looking for a place to rent, and she got one of those scammers that says this is my place, but it really wasn't.
Oh.
And he collected a $900 deposit from her.
Yeah.
And it was bad. She went through a really difficult time financially. You know, that hurt her pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, they both work hard for you, and they both help
Oh my
you.
gosh, I'm going to tell you right now, if it hadn't been for Rocky yelling at me, I'd probably be dead right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had diabetes. She did. She recognized it real quick. And she took me to my family doctor. And it comes from being not able to exercise or move around and stuff, sitting in the chair all the time.
Well, these guys, let me explain. He's in a wheelchair. He had a bad car wreck. He was out there at Arrington Triune area, and was in a Corvette, and a truck hit him head on. And I mean, you really walked out of the hospital. What, 2 hours later, didn't you, Marty?
I did. I walked out, but I didn't know my neck was broke. I didn't know my back was broke, and my spinal cord was damaged. I didn't know any of that stuff. So.
Wow.
And then
I just got buoyed up.
Yep, couldn't walk, you know.
God bless you.
Well, Marty, any final thoughts with these guys?
No, I just want Mr. Patel to understand that I really appreciate the Indian culture now, but I hate the food.
Man, I like the food, but anyways, and I like those fritters of the day.
Yeah,
very good.
Even though they were hot.
If Marty was there
Yeah.
to, I think, experience it while it was all the ambiance, right?
Yeah.
You got to carry the ambiance with the food. So,
Well, I gave him a shout out. Y'all hear me give him a shout out because I was asking for some Indian food.
right.
No.
You know,
Right.
and anyways, it was all good. But hey, Marty, tell them about Sharp Springs Park. How nice it is over in Smyrna.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. It used to be almost a swampland, and Smyrna has put dirt in and all this other stuff. And now we got a frisbee golf course over there, frisbee course,
Really?
and a dog walk, and then if you get over and you go back in the woods, you're going to see a sign about the very first horse racetrack Smyrna had. So that Sharp Springs Park is awesome.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, brother.
All right. Good night, guys.
We'll catch up.
Thank you, Marty.
We'll see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Speaking of frisbee, now are y'all cricket fans?
I used to be.
Yeah.
But with work and all that stuff, I kind of just when I get into it, I get into it.
Well,
but once I stop watching, then
well, I had some
I
guys
can't catch
call
up.
me a few years ago, maybe Charlie Patel and some others, asking me that they were looking for a site to do that. And I had them contact Sam Davis Home years ago, and I don't know if that ever come to fruition or not. That'd been before Roger was there. This has probably been 6-7 years ago. Where do they kind of gather? Where do folks gather to play cricket now?
I don't know about a league or any
play
thing in Murfreesboro, but I know that there is a young group of guys that do play in Shelbyville.
Well, describe cricket for folks that may not.
Oh, geez.
No.
Like,
I don't really know that much
Upside down
about
baseball.
It's a very interesting sport, I will say.
It is cool.
It's where we get our baseball from. But I've tried to like get into, not necessarily get into watching it, but like watch like clips of it. I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me.
cricket
yeah.
originated. It's actually a British sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of those countries, South Africa, India, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand, England, they're
Big on cricket.
big on cricket. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like to do? What's your hobbies?
Just pretty much vacationing with family overseas.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen a lot of states here, and I wouldn't say I've been to all the states, but we covered almost 80-90% of the states in the U.S. But
Have you really?
oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You just got a motorhome, you traveling or what?
Well, I travel due to work. I'm also a mechanical engineer for a German company. So they're always sending me, since last 15 years I've been with this company, I've always been going to many of the states where have major manufacturing practices and mills and so forth. So, yeah. But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I know I've got 2 bios from y'all, and I didn't really even get to read them
Yes, sir.
out. Rosh, and I appreciate you helping me put this together. What was your text, right? Was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was you sent it to me? So you both y'all go to MTSU?
No, I went to
Just
MTSU.
okay.
I went to a college in Boston called Suffolk School of Management.
Oh, okay.
And I got my degree in finance over there.
What and you got a degree in political science then?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to get into politics?
No, I was
One
trying to
day.
get into law school.
Law school, you know. Now y'all got to meet Marvin. Speaking of law school, my former assistant.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday,
Yeah, man. I think I told my wife. I said,
Good old time with him.
man, he is such a good guy. You know, he's probably the only African American in that entire crowd there. And I called him out. You know, I called him out purposely because what I was, you know, when I got up there on stage, I was like, okay, what do I need to say? You know, what do I need to say? And I was really touched by the Pledge of Allegiance. And I noticed all the men were sitting on one side, and then all the ladies were sitting on this side. And was it you that explained that to me yesterday? Somebody explained that why it's kind of separated like that.
You want to go ahead?
No, you go.
So it's what do you say? It's a rule given by our God that when you at least come to the temple, your focus should be singular.
Yeah.
Just on the presentations and the preachings and the idols we have at the temple.
Yes.
And usually when you're sitting with your significant other, it's usually talking about, hey, what's going on?
Yep.
What are we cooking?
Yep.
What are the kids doing? So your focus is always diverted that way. So we do that. It's called Stri Purush Maryada, which is the distance between your significant, your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, your father, and just singling you, so you can have the full focus on what you're there for, actually. So
yes, I thought that made. I mean, I kind of could understand it then, because I mean, everything you hit on is everything I talked about with my wife on the back row. I, mean, I was like, hey, where are we going after church? What's your mom having? I mean, you know, God forgive me for saying that. But I learned a couple of phrases. Y'all were kind of impressed with my Indian.
Your Gujarati.
Yeah, was that what you called it?
Gujarati.
What was the word I was trying to?
Kemcho.
Kemcho.
That's
that
it.
means hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then pajamas means
Majama. It's ma.
Majama.
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 Yeah.
That means good.
All well.
And then I seen a guy the day, and it was it one of y'all that I said, what if you're not having a good day? What is it?
What was it?
No majama.
No,
Majama.
I thought that was good. Because Rocky and Sepnet at Marty's, well, it may have been Rocky, was kind of, I was like, hey, teach me a few words, you know, and phrases. And I went on YouTube a couple weeks ago and was studying this. Even before this whole event, I was, you know, just trying to pick up a few little words. And I kept catching all these accents.
Yeah.
And then people trying to teach you how to have an Indian accent. And it really wasn't what I was looking for, you know. But anyway, so you got a little bit of country accent though.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So
Did you just learn it, or did it just happen?
it just happened. Country accent, like in country, like Shelbyville accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all like Shelbyville?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We go out there to Shelbyville a little bit, you know.
Changed a lot.
Oh, it has
I
changed.
grew up there, and it just changed a lot.
Man. So what? You were born and raised. You were born where? At Rutherford County Hospital?
No, Bedford County General.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Right in there.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. So have y'all been out to the what's that? Well, Jeremy, you talk, because Jeremy's the one to introduce me to it, about Stephanie Nash.
Oh yeah. You were asking. You were about to say, have they been out to Nash Family Creamery?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm good friends with Cody Nash and his sister,
Okay.
Stephanie Nash. I don't know if you were able to.
Didn't she just had a baby or something?
Stephanie?
Or
His wife?
The owner's wife, yeah.
Maybe.
That's
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Recently.
Maybe not. I'll have to check their the Facebook. But yeah, no. I interviewed Cody to talk about the Nash Family Creamery and their business and how they came out from California. They came over here because they liked the agricultural business. But yeah, no. I interviewed them and I learned a lot about them.
Yep.
We love our ag. We love our agriculture over here in Tennessee, and so it's one of the. I'm not gonna front and act like I know much about it, but it's one of the I guess leading. Someone out there is gonna call and say it's not, but I would say it's one of the leading agricultural states down here in the southeast. But yeah, Mike, talking about
West Tennessee will tell you that.
Yeah, talking about accents. I went down a rabbit hole one night and just started to learn about what makes the Southern accent, special. It is actually, I don't know if you know much about this, but it's remnant, especially the Georgia Peach accent. It's a remnant of the old King's English from the colonial times, and so yeah, pretty much a lot of where we get our not necessarily. I'd have to go find another source about it, but where we get our R's from, a lot of especially Georgian accent, that was how a lot of uppity British colonials when they were over here. That's how they spoke.
The rednecks are Scotch Irish.
Pretty much.
Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was where we get a lot of our manners from, the British, which is funny. But you were like, does it just come naturally to you? I'm like, and I was listening to you talk to him, and I was like, probably does since he was born and raised here.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, just a little dialect tidbit on that. But yeah.
Well, I was studying a little bit of history of the day about India. 1.4, here's a couple of facts. 1.4 billion people, 1.4 surpassing China. Did y'all know that?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, and let's see, 22 official languages with Hindu and English serving as the primary languages, with over 700 languages spoken across the nation.
Yep.
700 languages across the nation.
A lot of dialects.
Man,
so the way it works is India has, I think, 26 states. So when you're traveling from, let's just say, Tennessee to Alabama, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in India traveling from a different state, your whole culture changes. Your language changes.
Food,
the way people dress changes. The food changes.
Really?
Yeah, man. Everything just like day and night different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think y'all have the longest surviving constitution, I believe, and you're the longest democratic society.
Yep.
And let's see, 70% of the world's spices are from India.
That's why we like spicy.
Is that what? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Indian Americans are the highest earning ethnic group in the United States. Let's see, Indian Americans have the highest rate of college education among ethnic groups in the United States, with over 70% holding a bachelor's degree. Indian Americans have founded or co-founded numerous American tech companies, Sun Microsystems, Hotmail, and leadership positions in Telsa, Pepsi, MasterCard,
Google.
Now tell me about the wedding y'all were talking about that just happened on Wall Street.
Roshan knows about the wedding.
Yeah.
He watches.
I didn't know about it until y'all started talking about it.
It was on Instagram about a big fat Indian wedding.
It
was a startup company, right? The owners.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the groom is from Boston, and I don't know where the bride is
worth
from.
200 billion, I believe.
Yeah. So they actually pulled almost 40 to 60 permits in New York City to shut down.
To shut the whole place down.
The city or the streets down, and each permit cost about $40,000 to $70,000.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did they? I mean, what would they do? Because you're going to hurt some businesses. I'm assuming if you're shutting something down, do they compensate the businesses that are affected by a shutdown like this?
It's just like a couple of hours. Like in our marriage, yeah.
above my pay grade.
Don't you have a degree in finance?
I do, but I have no idea how they.
If you
Some
watch
of the
that
permit money go there.
Namesh Patel, where he says he's got a finance degree and all these hedge fund managers making all this money, and here he is a comic.
Yeah,
you know, and it's funny, and I want to play some of it, but some of it, it scares me.
He's pretty funny. I know the bit where he's like 3 or I can't remember how many he said. You're either a hotel owner, 7-Eleven, or something else. But
liquor store or something. Yeah.
What was it?
Is that
liquor store?
Like a hierarchy?
Subway, liquor store stuff.
Is it a hierarchy though?
As far as
like just is there a cultural thing? Like, yeah, I own a hotel, so you kind of think you're better than the guy that owns the convenience stores. And is there a hierarchy, or is it just all the same?
It's all the same because everybody's mixing everything up now.
It is.
They're doing.
I think it was first Indian and came here and bought a little business, maybe followed by the rest of the Indians, and they were like, "Oh my God, this guy's made money, so let's do the same thing." So
who was the first?
That's why you don't know.
Well, I was asking Rocky and Sepna about their history, and they didn't know. They didn't know, that their other like grandfathers who had came here. I mean, they came from India, but they had other family members that were here preceding them, but they didn't really know what brought them here and some of that. That's the way they kind of explained it. Explained it to me, But I always admire the work ethic. Charlie Patel, y'all know Charlie.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, yeah.
For real? Okay. I thought everybody knows Charlie.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, I guarantee you, there's 100 listeners right now. So I know Charlie.
Okay.
Everybody knows Charlie, but he had a Stones River beverage.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink, but I went out there just to try to support him. He always been kind to me and several folks out there. But it was interesting they were serving Subways out there.
Good deal.
Made sense.
Oh yeah.
Is that? I guess that's some economies of scale. Don't you have a finance degree?
I do. But retail, man, it's like
up and down.
Yeah, finance degree doesn't come in hand.
Yeah,
when you're dealing with retail.
My son's got a finance degree. I was asking you the other day about stock because he's a big cryptocurrency kind of guy, and what was it? Nvidia. That's the stock you were saying.
No, I was telling you to go with Quantum, which is.
Oh man, I done bought a bunch of
Ion Q.
I done bought a bunch of Nvidia stuff.
Yeah,
that's
still good.
You went and bought Nvidia stock. Okay.
So you're saying get who? Quantum. Okay.
Quantum Technologies, I think, is gonna boom.
Is that tech or is that a crypto thing?
It's tech.
It's tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all invest in crypto?
A little bit.
A little bit. Which one? What do you recommend?
Just the major ones. I wouldn't BS with the little ones.
What's it at now? What's it at?
Bitcoin.
It's 102 or 105 or something.
No, is it that much?
I had a guy in my office last year, and he said he said it was at an all-time high. I said, well, won't you sell? He said, because it's going to go higher. But I thought, man, if it's an all-time high, isn't that time you sell? If it's an all-time low, that's the time you buy, correct?
How would he know it's all-time high though?
Well, you don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, it historically
Bitcoin,
it was at the
Bitcoin
highest.
is 105.5.
Well, I was
right
good.
now.
That was close.
Wow.
Man, 105. Jeez.
What about that Dogecoin? How do you say it?
Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Speaking of Doge, y'all like Elon?
Oh yeah.
I like Elon.
I like
Yeah,
Elon.
Elon's good.
Yeah.
Why do you think people hate on him?
Maybe he was in the White House. He got more love now.
That's it. Haters gonna hate. No, that's I like Elon. I like because we were talking the other day with Bob, and it's the whole system, in my opinion, is unsustainable. I mean, trying to build schools, roads, you name it. Costs have escalated. Housing, we're in a crisis, and I don't know how we're going to turn it around unless it's creative economics and how to doing more with less. I mean, does this worry y'all for the future of your own kids? And I know you don't have grandkids
especially
yet.
here in Tennessee, man. I mean, the schools are overly packed, right?
Yeah.
They're overly packed. So last year, my son went to College Grove Elementary, and they had to put those
Portables.
classrooms to
Accommodate them all.
accommodate all the influx we are having.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, you were telling me about that development. Before we go to that, we've got the clip. That's who is it? We're going to play this clip. You said it's clean, right, Connor? Yes. Bart, if you're listening, this is Connor's idea, and Connor's playing it, right, Connor?
They won't fire me on it.
Anyways, this is Namesh Patel, right? Yes. All right, go ahead.
I don't know how we ended up here. I thought most Indian people ended up here in the 70s and 80s, which is when my parents showed up. It's not true. The first Indians ever in America, they landed here in the late 1800s. We were looking for Christopher Columbus. We heard he was looking for us. Now, how from late 1800s till now did we become the most dominant minority? Now, research the story a little bit. 1800s we land. 1921, this Punjabi guy by the name of Bhagat Singh Thind sues the United States. He says, I fought in World War I. I deserve to be a citizen of this country. My people, we deserve to be citizens of this country. He goes to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has to answer this one question. Is this brown guy white? Nope. Go back to India. They deported those 3,000 Indian people. Then 1965, the Asian American Exclusion Act was lifted, and that's when Indians and Asians start slowly trickling back into this country. But that means, for 40 years, those 3,000 Indian people were in India, studying, preparing for our eventual return. Like, what do these Americans like? Like to eat, they like to sleep, and they like to drive. They're gonna need gas stations, they're gonna need motels, they're gonna need cardiologists. Gas, meds, and beds, baby. That's how we did it. If anyone asks you.
Good job, Connor. I was describing the clip, and good job, Connor. I'm proud of you, man. That because I didn't think we'd find that clip, but I think that I just thought it was interesting how he took that narrative and kind of spun it back around, and it was really just thought provoking, And we were talking about comedy, I guess, yesterday, and just sharing how, like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle to me is like the modern day Mark Twain. Yep. Mark Twain said a lot of crazy things back in the day, but if you go back and study what he said, he was kind of right on. In a lot of ways. He talked about challenging issues that sometimes we don't really talk about in this country.
Like I was out in the lobby when y'all first started, so I wasn't paying attention too much. Real quick, your name?
May.
May?
Yep.
You say you travel a lot, going back and forth. Did y'all talk about like the whole like caste system in the beginning?
We did not, no.
Okay. So I know like just judging, or not judging, sorry, wrong word to say there. When I was a history major at MTSU, I was just doing like just different studies as a history major, but one topic about all the caste system and all that, it was officially I guess abolished in the 1950s. Is that right?
What was the word?
Like abolished or banned or done away with.
Yeah.
So officially it was done away with, but like now as we've moved into the 21st century, how lenient or how strict is it enforced in like the modern age?
I think modern cities like developed cities, it's passed over. Nobody pretty much looks into that anymore. But there are still remote villages and parts of India that they strictly follow the caste system. So very, very thoroughly too. So but like if you go to just Mumbai or New Delhi or any major metropolitan, like you're not gonna feel that there is a a caste system used to be here or existed or any of that. But when you travel those remote places, it definitely it'll bloom up.
That's very interesting. That's kind of like traditional versus contemporary values. Sort of like here in the U.S. Out in the rural countryside, there's a lot of churches everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of I wouldn't necessarily say, I guess, honor-based ways of living. And then when you get to more like the urban areas, it's like do what you want to do. You're in a whole big old cultural smorgasbord of different people living close together, that sort of thing. And it's a lot more, social values and norms are a lot more relaxed. And so I see like draw like some similarities between India and the U.S. But yeah. Also, another history question about was it the you know, I'm gonna hold my question.
Okay.
So
well,
yeah.
let's for the last few minutes, Roshan, tell us about some of your background, what you do.
I own a few Baskin Robbins retail stores. So
you got the one over here on Church Street?
Old Fort.
Old Fort.
Old
What's your
Fort.
favorite flavor?
My favorite flavor right now is Beach Day.
What's it called?
Beach Day.
Beach Day?
Oh, it tastes like a beach.
It got sand into it.
Yeah,
Oh, it got sand in there.
Chocolate turtles.
Really?
I thought about bringing you some.
Man, you should have. Oh, hey, we talked about some kind of a giveaway or something. Y'all want to hook a brother up?
Oh, yeah.
What can we do, man?
You had an idea. Whoever texts
Text Roger.
Roger first.
Roger.
I'll do Tennessee Meco $50 gift card, and they can
wow.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me get my phone out
And
so I'll
I'll match
text him.
him
Let me
with
play on this game right here real quick. Okay. All right. And you're gonna match it?
I'll match it.
A Baskin
$50
Robbins?
Baskin Robbins gift
All
card.
right. And you okay with giving your number out?
I turn my phone off so I can text it now.
Oh, they're gonna text you. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You go
All right.
ahead.
Here's the number. First person that texts Roger Thomas is 615 585 1333. So that's $100 worth of. Is that right?
Yeah.
$50 each.
Free food.
That's a lot of
You
ice
got
cream, man.
Steak and ice cream.
I hope my wife listens.
That's a heavenly combination.
My cousin will text me.
I don't know. Maybe your Aunt Dot, your 95-year-old aunt that wins this bad boy. That's all right though, man. Yeah, no, that's okay. Now, Roshan, what the work ethic, you're both entrepreneurs, business owners. What would you tell some young people that are listening now that want to kind of start their own business?
Oh, you're going to fall down many times.
Yes.
Scrape your knees and everything.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
That goes back to that Alfred Adler.
yeah.
You
You
know,
got to just keep getting up.
Yep. Trump said that to the
Yeah,
day.
don't give up, man. People like a lot of young generations, including I have younger cousins, right? And they give up way too fast.
Yeah.
But it takes a whole world to make it move, and once it starts moving, there's no stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our final, how much time we got?
3 seconds.
Oh, we got 3 seconds. Anyways, well, thank you, man. Patel, Roshan, Batka.
Bakta. Yes, sir.
And Roger, we got a winner yet?
Not yet.
Anybody? Hey, if
I'm
my
gonna text right
wife's
now. I'm gonna
listening,
text right now in the studio.
With one of these masks on, like COVID masks.
the number
Nice.
again,
Look, oh,
615 585 1333 for $100 worth of gift prize from Tennessee Meat
Company.
And Baskin Robbins.
and Baskin Robbins. Thank you guys.
Let's
Thank
do
you,
it.
Jeremy. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Connor. See y'all next week.
Thank you.